Hey, you want to overcome fear, get unstuck, and live a courageous life. So, I'm going to tell you three quick, simple secrets that you can use in order to live that courageous life that you've always wanted. And in so doing, win at the game of life. So, what's one of the first things that you need to do? The first step that I've found that's been very helpful, everybody talks about plan, do, be. Well, I'm going to flip it, okay? And not just say plan, do, be, but I'm going to say be first, okay? How do you need to conduct yourself to reduce the likelihood of you having those situations or those attacks of anxiety? The first thing is to be. So be thoughtful about what you're thinking. Remember that our thoughts are what create our feelings, and our feelings create our actions. So, for those of you who suffer from fear and anxiety, of course, there's something that's causing it. There's a trigger that's causing it. And 9 times out of 10, it may be what you're thinking. So, if we want to win at the game of life, think a new thought. Yeah. Can we plan what we're thinking? Can we be conscious about what we're thinking? Yes. If I sit here, like I've shared many times, my mother passed away, and I can sit and focus on the fact that I'm so distressed about the death of my mom and the death of her, the fact that her grandkids are not going to see her, and drive myself into basically an anxiety attack where I'm really fearful and not feeling courageous. Or I can think about the legacy that my mother has left for me and for her grandchildren. I can think about how she received awards from every branch of government while she was alive. I can think about the amazing things and gifts that she's taught me and left with me along the journey. And the more I begin to think those thoughts that are empowering, those thoughts that energize me, then of course I'm going to feel more like taking action in the areas that I need to take action. So that's just one quick step. I'm going to give you three quick, simple steps that you can use to get out of that fearful feeling or that state of anxiety, in addition to your writing, in addition to your breath work. Okay, so we'll be right back, and I'm going to share with you three quick, simple steps to overcoming fear, getting unstuck, and living a courageous life. Hi, welcome back. Okay, so I was telling you three quick, simple secrets that you can use to help yourself not be in a state of anxiety or fear or stuckness. So this week I was on several calls with several clients, and one of the stories was a lady who is very successful. She is in a $1.3 million technology business, but her challenge is anxiety. And so we had to do a call to help her to move forward. So she was doing her writings, which she normally does. And the idea was to think a new thought. So, without telling you her name, like many of us, she had a rough conversation with her partner. So that was the trigger. So sometimes we need to think of the trigger. What is it that you know is going to set you off? Because it set you off last time. It caused you to be fearful the time before. Let's look at those situations to start with, okay? And see exactly what it is in your life that you know is a habitual thing that keeps coming up and elicits fear. or anxiety. And then you have to turn around and be courageous. So for her, it was the argument that she had with her partner. So the conversation goes like this. You can look at it and say, well, I have a husband, and my husband is constantly causing me anxiety and constantly causing me fear. That turd, let me get rid of him. Okay? He's no good and he's causing me problems. Or how could we shift and look at the conversation from an alternate perspective and say, listen, wow, I'm blessed to have this partner. I am so grateful that I even have a partner. During COVID-19, so many people were lonely. Can you imagine going through COVID-19 and being shut in and locked in and having no one there with you? So you at least have a partner. You have company. You have somebody that you can talk to, confide in, work with. Okay, so let's look at it first of all from that perspective that I'm winning because at least I have this partner. Let's also look at this from the perspective of I can handle this. Okay, we've had conversations, difficult conversations before, and we've come through them, and so we will come through it now again. Okay, it's a thought process. When I think I can come through this, when I think I know I can resolve this, or I think if it's a business issue and you say, well, I'm a money magnet, I am a boss babe, I am a millionaire babe, you start thinking thoughts that are going to elicit joyful feelings. Okay. And then with those joyful feelings, you're going to want to take action. So there's another young lady. Her challenge was that she just didn't feel like going out and doing the legwork of her business or that the business required. She had to go out. She's a beauty expert. She had to take her cards into the arena and share with people what she does. Like marketing. Many of us love to market in business, and some of us really don't like to market. And so it causes anxiety and it causes fear. So she was feeling anxious and she was feeling fearful. So I asked her, what feeling would you have to, no, what thought would you have to have that would make you feel like getting up and talking to those potential clients? Now, of course, because she was feeling anxious and she was feeling depressed and distressed and not courageous, she didn't want to think about that. She said, I don't know. So I said, okay, I know you don't know. So those of you who are listening and feeling anxious or feeling fearful, you're saying, well, I don't know what thought I would have to have in order to move forward. So I know you don't know. But if you did know, what thought would you have to think that would cause you to feel courageous, that would cause you to want to move forward and get unstuck? So for her, the thought was, oh, when I go out and I give out my business cards, people are going to love me. They're going to respond to my cards and they're actually going to want to buy my services. Okay? Well, of course, if you think that people are actually going to love you and buy your services, of course you'll want to go and share your cards with people because you know it's a win for you. Right? And so that was the secret. The secret was to think another thought. The thoughts that she was thinking were the thoughts that were making her feel depressed and anxious and sad. And we don't have control over the way that we feel initially, but we do have control over what we thought, what we think, and what we do. So the secret, if you hear nothing else in terms of being, is being in control of what we think and being in control of what we do. Okay? Thoughts control your actions. Actions control the results that we get in the world. So it's of utmost importance to ensure that we think right thoughts. Moving right along from the B, I said, look at the triggers. Look at what it is that's causing you to feel this way. Okay? Which leads to second step, which is doing. So if you know that every time you're in the presence of Uncle Joe, that's a trigger for you, you're going to arm yourself with tools, okay, that are going to help you to ensure that when you come in contact with that fearful feeling or that fearful thought or that anxiety, you're going to do something about it. So step one, breathe. I know it sounds simple, but literally When we feel fear, we constrict ourselves and we hold our breath. And so the first step is to just breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. Many of you have heard of square breathing, in for four, hold for four, release for four. Try it. When you feel anxious and you feel fearful or you're about to do something that is a challenge for you, breathe, square breathing, okay? And then we get to one of my favorite things. People are wondering, well, why are you walking around, Arlene? The second step to relieving that stress and anxiety is movement. Movement. I forgot to mention it at the beginning. During the break, you'll hear about our 5,000 step per day challenge. Basically, it says that we're doing 5,000 steps every day to encourage ourselves to be more fulfilled and to reduce the fear and anxiety in our lives and the stress, because walking actually reduces the stress. So join us, okay? And begin walking with us every day, because you'll find that if you move physically, you're going to feel better, and it will affect you in your business, in your relationships, in your career. If you're less stressed and anxious, everything will go better for you in life. So I want you to move, all right? And if you're in a situation where you can't go outside in the sunshine like I am, and you can't breathe the fresh air, then I want you to look at a third thing in terms of doing. What are you eating? What are you eating? Because what we eat greatly impacts the anxiety that we feel, the level of stress that we feel, the level of fear. So for me, as I've mentioned several times, my challenge is chips. Okay, potato chips. I used to be quite indulgent of, but now I do veggie straws. Okay. And I feel like that's a more healthful alternative. So substitution, if you know that there's something that you really like, but it sets you off, substitute it with something else that is a little bit more healthful, but also will meet the need. So some people like crunchy. So you want to have something that you put in your mouth and you can crunch on. And so for me, the veggie chips serves the same purpose as if I were eating potato chips. But for some people, they want something creamy as a texture, or they want something sweet. Well, have fruit instead of candy. There's so many things that we can do once we are aware that we need to make these changes in our lives and that they impact us greatly. So what's another thing that we can do? We said breathing, we said movement, we said the things that we're eating. So I have a whole chapter in the book when it comes to more healthful eating, because I found that it truly impacted my level of energy, my level of fear, when I began to look at the foods that I was eating, guys. Not everything is good for everybody, and each of us react differently to different things. So I have a client who wanted to lose weight, and she was, not grossly obese, but she was pretty up there. And one of the things that she was told was not to eat eggs. Okay, because some people find that they are allergic to eggs, or that they, don't go along with their diet. But for her, eating an egg every day was actually something that helped her to lose weight. So she started eating eggs every day for breakfast. And the lady lost 20 pounds. So some people would say, well, that worked for her, it doesn't work for me. But not only did she lose the 20 pounds, but she felt great. Okay, so she was better able to function in her business and in her career and in her relationships, because she was happier, because she was doing something that was helpful for her body and she could see that she was going in the right direction. Then she was more excited. Then she began to feel more fulfilled. And then momentum set in, and she began to do more and more things that were going to be of benefit to her. And so that's why we need to look at what we're eating, guys. It sounds really simple because it's easy to do, but it's also easy not to do. So how many of you have heard of an apple a day keeps the doctor away? Most of us. So how many of us eat an apple a day? It's an apple a day, not a candy bar a day. Okay? So take a look at what it is that you're eating and how it impacts your emotions, how you feel when you eat each thing. Okay? That's my assignment for you for this week, because we do a weekly show. So I want you to look at everything that you're putting in and ask yourself, how do I feel? How do I feel when I eat this particular item? And if it doesn't work for you, put it down. Okay? Because this could be one of your triggers in terms of the anxiety and fear that you feel. Okay, so what are you eating? High sugar for me, high salt definitely impact my emotions. And we all know that when we have kids, or when we were a kid, people would say, oh, don't give the kids sugar. Oh, no, 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 because the sugar will agitate them. But when we're adults, we're eating that cake, we're eating that ice cream, we're eating, things that may be impacting us greatly. So take a look. Okay, so we said plan, because you're looking at the triggers, is the last thing that we're looking at. Plan. So, in terms of planning, we've created for you a community. Statistics show that you're 97% more likely to accomplish a goal when you have a group or a team or accountability to accomplish it. So, does it mean that you can't accomplish the goal if you're only working independently? Well, no. But in terms of you feeling less anxiety attacks and fewer stressful episodes, if you have a group of people, an accountability group, then you're going to be more likely to accomplish the things that you want to accomplish. And what's really the secret? Is it really that I'm telling you things that you've never heard before? Not really. The secret is implementation of the things that you already know. They say most people already know 90% of what needs to happen. You're brilliant. You're already able to do 90% of the things that you've heard. And if you don't know, you could have just Googled this. 3 steps to overcoming fear, getting unstuck, and acting more courageously. But the real secret is that implementation piece. Okay, how do we make ourselves act on the different things that we know we should be doing? And the challenge is that many of us don't have people in our lives that will encourage us in the areas that we truly want to change. So we go to our friends and we say, wow, I've started this new plan where I'm going to evaluate the foods that I'm eating so that I can win at the game of life. And they say, what? That's ridiculous. Just eat and keep it moving. Or we say, wow, I'm about to launch my $1 million business and I'm going to be ever so successful. And our friends say, yeah, right. So the secret is to get around people that are also launching their $1 million businesses and or believe in your dreams and want to facilitate helping you to accomplish them. So we've created a group. It's called the Millionaire Mastermind Group, right? It's a millionaire mastermind group. The idea is that the people in the group want to be empowered to live their very best lives and become their very best selves. And so we're inviting you to join us as well. So the group meets and we talk about some of the same things that we're discussing today, and also some of the issues that have been brought up throughout the several weeks that we've been doing the show and talking about the book. But the beauty is that you also have other people who are going through similar situations and are crushing it. And so you begin to believe that, well, if they can do it, you can do it too. And also, some of us are spending a lot of time looking at the past. So one of the ladies in the group, who is a client, was sharing with me on a call this week that she felt some of the challenges that she was having were due to her birthing process or her birthing situation with her child. So she felt like one of the things that she needed to do was truly look at the past and be able to overcome those negative situations that happened during the time when she was pregnant prior to birthing her child. And the secret was, we can spend a lot of time looking at our past and the challenges and the situations, or we can actually spend our time looking at what we need to do in order to accomplish the goals that we have now. So I know for some of you that may sound a little harsh, because we really have to focus on the past and we have to focus on the challenges. And there is time for that. But really and truly, the goal is to think the thoughts that are going to empower us to move forward, okay, that gain that momentum. So I'll tell you a quick story. I was in a situation where I was constantly looking at the past. I was looking at sadness, I was looking at fear, I was looking at distress, and all of these distressing situations were adding up. So many of you know that I had been publicly fired, with my face on the cover of the newspaper, and it said fired. That was totally unnecessary. And then my mother passed away from an incurable disease. My grandmother was 106, so I didn't expect my mother to just come down with this incurable disease and pass away. And so I was really stuck, and I was looking at all of these situations, these negative, challenging situations. And it wasn't until I began looking at the future and began thinking, well, what am I going to do next? Where am I going to go next? How am I going to acquire the things that I would like to acquire and become the type of person that empowers others and lives the life to the fullest? Did I actually begin to get up and make those changes? So the word for you today is, what do you need to think in order for you to move forward and truly begin to achieve your goals and your dreams? What thought would you need to think that would cause you to feel less stressed? What would you have to believe? Okay, because the more you think a thought, the more it becomes a belief. So what would you have to believe in order for you to get that promotion? Or even go step towards that promotion, apply for the promotion. Okay? It's all in our thoughts. So remember, whoever it is that you want to become, or whatever it is that you want to attract, you have to believe that you are that person, or you believe that you have already acquired that thing. So you have to become the type of person that would receive that thing. Okay? So what type of thoughts would that person have? What type of actions, the doing, would that person be doing? Okay? And if you have to, sometimes we have to visualize someone else that's already doing it. So step out, look around, and say, wow, I see that person who's actually doing it. She's actually crushing it. Well, what is she doing differently from me? How is she coming across and behaving? What attributes is she exuding that I'm lacking in? So I'm going to take a stab and say one of the attributes that we can all benefit from is confidence. So begin today by thinking of yourself as a confident person who is accomplishing great things, great goals daily, and then begin to walk that out. Do the things that that confident person would do. So thank you so much for spending the time with me today. I'd like to thank Angel. I'd like to thank Rahman, our team members, for helping us to put the show together today. And I would like you to drop us a line and let us know what questions you would like to ask and what topics you'd like for us to have on the show. So remember, this is just one little snippet of the 10 secrets to overcoming fear, getting unstuck, and living your best life. If you'd like to have a copy of the 3 secrets from the book, the first 3 secrets, then go ahead and go to the website, which our team is going to put down below, askarleneshow.com, and subscribe, and you'll get a copy of the 3 secrets. And also, I'd like you to join our millionaire mastermind group so that you can have a team of people who are rooting for you and want to support you in seeing you move forward and achieving your goals and dreams. And then lastly, do the 5,000 step challenge with us. Okay, I'm walking, I'm doing my steps, and hopefully you're doing your steps with us today as well. Thanks for joining us. Hopefully you'll join us again next week, Thursday. And remember, you can go where you want to go, you can do what you want to do, and you can be who you want to be in the world. Get started today. Thanks. Bye-bye. Hello, I'm Arlene McLaren. I'm a life coach and a business consultant. I help you to move forward in your business, project, or endeavor. So I'm reminding you, you can go where you want to go. You can do what you want to do. And you can be who you want to be in the world. Today, I'm in a beautiful scenery in Napa County with the beautiful water and the beautiful mountains. And what I'm saying to you is you can live your best life. So I have a 5-day, 3-step program for you, free of cost, to help you to live your best life. Please click the link below and start your 5-day course. That's my gift to you so that you can begin to live your best life. Those dreams that you always had, those goals that you've always had, those things that you've held in your heart and in your mind that you just haven't yet manifested. We'll take this 5-day program and let's begin getting you on that journey. Thank you. Bye-bye. See you there. Hi, I'm Arlene, host of the television talk show Ask Arlene, which airs on Thursdays at 6:30. And as a business consultant and life coach, I help you to move forward in your business, project, or endeavor. So if you always wanted to write a book, but you just haven't seemed to get started, or you always wanted to 10x that business that you already have, expand it to the next level, you know exactly what you need to do, but you just haven't done it? Well, I've already purchased all the courses, read all the books, the Tony Robbins, all sorts. I have several degrees, including a master's degree and credits toward a doctorate. I've sat with and met celebrities and done the networking. And what I've realized is what I really needed was a mastermind group of people working toward my project, my business, or my endeavor. So what I've done is met with coaches and met with experts and put them together to work on your project. So join us today for our mastermind networking group. I'll see you there. Click the link below and join us.
I've decided that I'm a good person and that I deserve good things to happen to me. And therefore, I've decided that I'm going to pamper myself as much as possible. I'm going to look for as much fun. I'm going to look for as much fulfillment. I'm going to look for as much ease. I'm going to follow my ease. I'm going to follow my bliss. I'm going to follow my flow. I'm going to follow the good feeling. I'm going to I've decided that I'm a good person and that I deserve good things to happen to me. And therefore, I've decided that I'm going to pamper myself as much as possible. I'm going to look for as much fun. I'm going to look for as much fulfillment. I'm going to look for as much ease. I'm going to follow my ease. I'm going to follow my bliss. I'm going to follow my flow. I'm going to follow the good feeling. I'm going to
Name some things I'll be without you, good. Stop the growth, I bet you think you could. Said you gon' leave me, man, I wish you would. Yeah, I'm different, so I'm misunderstood. So I'ma always be good. Said I'ma always be good.